Thanks for watching this portion of Garage Logic today on our YouTube channel, and hit the subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. And also thanks to our friends at Everest Men's Health for sponsoring this. Go to everestmenshealth.com today to see if they can help you with better energy and better health. And catch the Garage Logic podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Well, for the first time in my life, I watched a complete debate featuring the mayoral candidates in St. Paul. League of Women Voters.
How was that?
Sponsored. Terribly interesting. You know, it made you realize you don't see much of the incumbent, Melvin Carter, in public. So it was a good chance to become even more familiarized with him. He can otter with the best of them. He can otter like Otter couldn't otter.
Did he utter, "You must hate the United States of America"?
He damn near got there. You know, he was asked twice by a guy named Bill Hoskell, why wasn't there a curfew called when the rioting set in on University Avenue? And he went into this word salad of proactive community members reaching out to the police department. And I just thought he was going to end it with, I'm not going to let you sit here and rip the United States of America. So the question never got answered. There were some interesting characters. Paul Langenfeld did a good job. Bill Hosko did a good job. Dino Guerin did a good job. A woman named Dora Jones Robinson was theatrically interesting.
Is she straight out of Euphoria? Or,
Not really.
Oh, okay.
No. Abu Naeem seemed to have a lot of facts straight. A guy named Mickey Frost. But I think Carter is beatable.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
I really think it's, and he's a thin-skinned young man. He doesn't suffer criticism gladly. And so if anyone in the debate ever brought anything up where his name was mentioned, he would want an answer to that and to try to straighten it out.
Well, isn't that basically the case for a lot of people?
Right, but nobody else
position?
did it except him. He's very slick, very smooth, very well spoken. Mm-hmm. But it's all BS. It's all salon speak.
But will your theory apply if you say he's beatable? In other words, we're gonna rue the day that Carter was replaced by someone that's more woke than him.
No. That would not be Langenfeld. That would not be Hoskow, and that would not be Dino Guerin. They're not.
But do they? So that you think
their
they
concentration
have a chance?
is not on wokeness.
Got it. Okay.
Their concentration is on what it should be.
Public safety.
Well, that they all agreed. The number one question of facing the candidates is public safety. The reason I say Carter is beatable, there seems to be somewhat of an awakening. And I think this was brought about by the events of early Sunday morning at the truck. What's the official name
Truck
of that?
Park.
The Truck Park Bar.
Mm-hmm.
Two major businesses based in St. Paul have sent letters to the mayor just recently, since that incident, calling for action to address violent crime. One letter mentioned it may be tough to encourage employees to come back into the office after working remotely. Executives from both Ecolab and Securian Financial addressed their letters to St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter following the mass shootings at the 7th Street Truck Park early Sunday morning in the heart of what's being called the entertainment district. And the two business leaders let the mayor know they're ready to work towards and be part of solutions, but it has to be addressed immediately. The future of our city as a safe and appealing place to live, play, work, and invest is at stake, Christopher Hilger, chairman and president and CEO for Securian Financial, wrote in his letter to Carter. Hilger went on to write that his company deeply cares about the future of the city. However, our ability to encourage our employees to return to our corporate offices after working from home for 18 months heavily depends on how they feel about the safety and vitality of downtown St. Paul. St. Paul Police Chief Todd Axtell and all council members were also sent the letters. The city of St. Paul is hurting, and our community is distraught and angered by this incident. Christopher Beck, president and CEO at Ecolab, wrote in his email about the mass shooting. Beck also addressed concerns about the future of the area if this isn't addressed. This is somewhat of a scaled-down version of the Brotherhood speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Action needs to be taken to stem the increase in senseless violence and other public safety issues that jeopardize the safety of our citizens and visitors, our quality of life, and the economic stability and growth of St. Paul, Beck added. St. Paul City Council member Rebecca Noker represents that ward. It's the pride and gem of our community, she said about her ward. To have something like this that strikes here is devastating. Noker also received the letters and said she looked forward to connecting with the businesses to work toward a safer city. What I appreciate about the letters is that they are calling on us to take responsibility, which we need to do, Noker said. Really? No kidding. They're offering to work with us and to partner on solutions. See, that's the kind of nonsense language that makes no sense.
Yes.
It just makes no sense. And you heard a lot of that last night from Carter. We have to partner on solutions.
Solutions. What?
No one in the debate really addressed the root cause of the problems, which is there is just too much ease handed out to juvenile offenders.
Yes.
And those juvenile offenders are growing up to becoming the 31-year-olds who shoot each other in a bar.
And I guess that's the point I was going to make. Even if Carter had the best intentions, which he does not, of course, or have a plan, which he does not, of course, it doesn't matter, does it? Because if the judges are just going to turn around and release these people back to the public, what good does a plan do in the first place?
I've got more than that in a moment.
Who's the moderator for the debate?
A woman named Liz something of the League of Women's Voters.
Why don't they question them when they start using that Mysterian language?
Well, for all I know, the woman...
blah, blah, blah.
Well, you're presuming that the woman was a GLer. I have no idea who she is or what her thinking is.
But that nonsense gobbledygook makes sense to her? I'd be like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Throw the brakes on here.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Or you could be, who was the one that did the Trump-Biden one where Trump basically said, oh, I guess I'm debating you now. Was it Chris Wallace, the moderator? Which was a pretty good line.
They're offering to work with us, to partner with us on solutions, Nelker said. And the mayor told 5 Eyewitness News, the mayor has reached out to the leaders of Ecolab and Securian today to thank them for their ongoing engagement and to discuss our ongoing work to build the most comprehensive, coordinated, and data-driven approach to public safety our city has ever endeavored.
What?
Meaningless! It's meaningless!
Data-driven? What?
The
More
mayor's-
cops. More cops.
Which is what Haska, Langenfeld, and Guerin insisted on. The mayor's office said those efforts are part of the Community First Public Safety framework that includes St. Paul's portfolio of Community First Public Safety investments co-created with nearly 2,000 residents and local leaders detailed on its dashboard. Coordination and collaboration between the Downtown Alliance and the city, including the creation of the Downtown Improvement District. And nearly $1 million in American Rescue Plan dollars for increased overtime for officers downtown. Regular communication with downtown businesses, including a series of biweekly meetings that the deputy mayor, Ward 2 council office, and city department leaders participated in with business owners along West 7th this past summer to respond to concerns surrounding services at Freedom House, which is the homeless shelter there, right in the middle of all of this. And
by the way, Securian Financial employs 5,000 people. Ecolab, I can't tell how many are based in St. Paul because they're obviously a nationwide brand, but they employ over 44,000. I don't know how many of them are based here.
I have recently become familiar with Securian because I get a very modest pension from the Star Tribune. I just made it under the wire. It's a couple $100 a month. I mean, it's nothing. And I didn't get it, I thought, at the end of September. It always comes on the last day of September, first day of October. And I damn near threw it away because I saw this thing that said Securian.
Oh.
And I thought it was something still being sent to my now 5-year-old dead mother. She's been dead for 5 years. I damn near threw it away, but I didn't. I put it in my cubby to open later. And sure enough, the Star Tribune funding has moved to Securian. So there it was. So now I'm on the lookout
Wait
for
a minute.
Securian.
A guy that loves to play office almost threw away mail?
Well, you wouldn't believe what I still get that my mother sent 50 cents to somebody once and they can't stop bugging her. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
How much fun of a video would that be to watch the mayor play office?
But do you have those dad thoughts like I do when you see that? I always wonder myself, how much is this costing? How much? Why are they doing this? What's it costing? Come on.
To do what?
Knock it off. To send
all
out
that
this
mail.
nonsense.
Oh, my God.
That we just throw away.
Yeah.
But it obviously must work, right? Or otherwise, why would they do it?
Naively, she died in April of 2016. And quite literally, she had, I've told you this before, To ease her guilt about still smoking cigarettes at the age of 91, she converted that into the belief that she was buying indulgences by sending money to every possible charity that found her.
What a
and
good
I was, I
woman.
mean, and she had no money. It was $5. It was $1. These people, and I naively at the beginning, I patiently wrote back every one of these people and said she's dead. Well, I finally realized nobody's reading that. Those go to a gatekeeper or get thrown away or something, and nobody's reading it. So it's still
They're Joe with the Securian letter.
they're
Bleep
still
that.
coming. Yeah.
I can see Joe licking the tip of the pencil, the number 2, and actually writing out in long form.
Yes.
Dear sir.
And then he's pausing, Kenny, and he's looking up. Oh, yes, that's a good
Yeah,
line.
comma here? Yeah, yeah.
No, I look up and I pause and I say, I hope I don't have to write an 8 or a 3.
Yeah. It was, she's been dead for 3 years now. She's been dead for more than 2 years now.
Let's get back to the point of my contention that I think Carter can be vulnerable. I didn't think that a month ago. I think it's possible. And the 3 principals still have a long way to go to make an impressive dent. Langenfeld, Hosko, and Guerin. They've got a long way to go to have their voice considered the most prominent voice. Hosko seems to have worked the hardest. He's been door knocking, and he owns a business downtown St. Paul, an art gallery and framing. He just re-upped his lease. He's a small businessman in the city of St. Paul. He seems to be putting his money where his mouth is. Lagenfeld has a great love for the city and promises to work 60 hours a week, which I think was a shot at Melvin, who we rarely see.
Right.
And Dino Guerin has a lot of history, former city council member and firefighter and what have you. And there's some talent there. They were all interesting characters. Abu Naeem from the North End, he came out with a hat on that had big frog eyes on it. And it was his way of acknowledging Frogtown. Get it? Frogtown.
Oh, it's like a Kermit the Frog deal.
And
That's clever.
But he was a sharp dude. He had a lot of facts. And he took his frog hat off finally. Dora Jones Robinson is an original citizen who was kicked out of the Rondo neighborhood and has a lot of belief that the mayor's staff is too bloated. And Mickey Frost, I don't know what to say about him. I thought he was the weakest candidate. But hats off to all of them, including Mickey. I mean, you're putting your money where your mouth is. You're doing the work. And I think there's a chance now when you've awakened Securian, when you've awakened Ecolab, when you've awakened the small businesses to the city is going in absolutely the wrong direction. I think there's a chance for a mayoral candidate to take a great leap forward here. They've got to figure out how to get the attention.
I can't stop thinking about what Chris said earlier. And I think we should mark this day on the calendar, Chris, because this was the day that Joe thought St. Paul has a chance. When we all know the day after election, they're going to be wishing they still had Melvin.
No. I see in this field people, you would not regret the loss of Melvin.
But do those people that
which
you
is a
see,
rare event.
and you think those people have a chance to be voted in?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think Melvin's vulnerable. The crime is ridiculous in this city. They need more. They need 100 more officers.
It'd be fun to watch a debate with the Minneapolis candidates where all the candidates would portray Jacob as being the second coming of Trump. You know what I'm saying? This right-wing nut loves cops.
I